Welcome, everybody. Once again, we're at another market close. So, this is all exciting. We have well, it's kind of a green day. We were actually, funny thing, about 5 minutes ago, the TSX was in the red. And I was like, oh, do I have to go and change my thumbnail? Because I'm trying to put a green or a red light on the side of the thumbnail, depending on what the market is for the day. And I kind of figured we were going to finish with a weak green, and that's where we are right now. So the big question is, and as I said this, we're now back in the red. So what, who knows? I'll leave the green up right now because I still think we're going to finish in the green. Right now we're at basically we're at 0.00%. The TSX is down 0.22. So it can move any direction now at this point. The S&P 500 totally in the red, or sorry, totally in the green. So that there is absolutely awesome. So everything is doing good. All right, so we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Bank of Canada held their rate hike meeting today. No surprise, we're still on the pause. But the big surprise from that meeting was Tiff Macklin's language. He came out rather dovishly, and that part surprised me. I actually thought he was going to be a little more hawkish, just to sort of keep people from getting too optimistic about future rate cuts. But no, he actually came out and he said that he feels that that the Bank of Canada, when I say we, that the Bank of Canada is being restrictive enough. And so as a result, he doesn't see any more tightening necessary when it comes to the rate, to the hike. And he also said that it leaves it open for them to start looking at cutting rates down the road. So that's a good thing. That's a really, really good thing. All right. So we got a lot of stuff. We're going to look at the heat maps here in a moment. Well, right now, first of all, I'm just going to pull this up right here. So this is the chart you're actually looking at right now is Bitcoin. That heavy green line, by the way, that's the 40,000 US mark. So that sort of shows where we've been hugging it with Bitcoin. But if you look up in here, I guess I have to do it. Funny thing is, I was putting the thing over. Never mind. I was putting the thing over the wrong thing. But if you look up here, you'll see right now we do have a bit of green in the TSX, so it's up 0.2%. The S&P 500, sorry, the S&P 500, the TSX has fallen down. So negative 0.02. So we may finish in the red. Though I still feel like we're going to come back into the green. So I'm going to leave that, like I said, we'll leave that up for the moment. Let's take a look at the heat maps really quickly, guys, and then I'll get to the comments. So here is our heat map for the TSX. As you can see, we got some people down. So Royal Bank is down a whole percent. TD's up though, 0.63%. Manulife Financial's up. Bank of Nova Scotia's up. Brookfield Corporation is up. Shopify's up. Look at that. Shopify's up. CP is up, though CN is down a whole 1.73%. And everyone's favorite Alimentation Couche-Tard, they're just down a tiny, tiny bit. When we look to the US, you'll see a little bit more green on the US chart. So tech seems to be looking good. Look at that. Microsoft up 1%, Google up a little more than 1%, Meta up 1.59%, Nvidia's up 2.43%. That's not too shabby. Amazon is up. So they've got a lot of people who are up. So yeah, the US is not looking too shabby. And of course, we go over to the good old crypto heat map, and you can see Bitcoin down just a little bit, 0.63% on the day. Ethereum's down 1.86%. That's a lot. Well, it's not for crypto, but so when I say it's a lot, I'm thinking of comparing it to sort of Bitcoin. BNB is down. Solana, though, is up. Solana's doing good. So those of you who have been investing in Solana, and I know there's a few of you, you guys are doing pretty darn good. So that's not too shabby. All right, we'll just switch back here and we'll take a look and see. TSX still in the red. Oh, and look at this. The S&P 500 has come down a little bit. It's still in the green, though. So we'll look back here as the market closes, and we'll see if we do finish in the green or the red. I predicted green, so let's. I really want to be right. So we'll have to see how that is going to look. All right. Let's bring me back to full screen. We'll say a quick hi to everybody. Vic was the first person in the house saying, yeah, 24/1/24. That's today. That I guess that makes the date a palindrome. So that's kind of cool. Stan's in the house with a hello. We got Ian all the way from Colombia. Patricia's in the house with a hi. Perlovia says, hello, hope you, oh, sorry, hello. You all hope your trade day is doing well. So yeah, let's hope everyone's trade day is doing well. Vic is saying, anyone logging into the Tesla earnings call? Well, right now, no, I'm kind of streaming. What time does that start at? I'm not sure. Vic says, sold a lot and bought a lot. Not too bad. And Vic has bought BB. Not BB. Yep, BB. King of Day is in the house with a hello. And Perlovius had added more myself, Vic. So there we go. Not everybody's shying away from BB. There's a couple of you that like it. Amanda says, hi all. Hello, Amanda. It is good to see you. Mary Finn is in the house with a hello, everyone. Vic says, hard to find deals when everything is so hot. Yeah, the S&P 500, a lot of things are pretty high up. So it's sometimes hard to sort of suss out a couple of deals, but they're there. You just have to find them. Let's see. Kianikaz says, hi, everyone. Vic says, Bloomberg now free live via their website. I saw that. Now, somebody last week, I think it was on the market close, they had told me that I could just go over to Prime to watch Bloomberg. So I was all excited. I went over, and sure enough, Bloomberg is there, but it's the US version. So now it's great that I have access to both the Canadian and the US version. To me, that is definitely awesome. Kiana Kaz says, ex-dividend day for Royal Bank. Yeah, absolutely. So those of you on the Royal Bank side, their price should have dropped today because of the ex-dividend day. And let's take a look and see if that happened. Where is Royal Bank in this mess? It should be here somewhere. Oh, yeah, it's right up here at the top. See, down 1.25%. So keep in mind, when you look at the other banks, this is a perfect proof, guys. This is what happens on the ex-dividend day. All the other banks are up. Look at that. BMO's up 99. TD's up 0.70, but Royal Bank is down. That's because it's their ex-dividend day, and all of those dividends get deducted from the market cap. That drops their value. So this is kind of, when I look at this on an ex-dividend day, I sort of look at this as being not a real number. It is a real number, but I take it with a grain of salt because I know that they're going to recover that pretty soon as they move away from their ex-dividend day. So just something to keep in mind. Oh, that's kind of cool. That was a good little reminder there. Okay, let me, get my mouse to the right screen so that we can remove that for the moment. Let's see. Vic says Bloomberg TV, not Bloomberg Terminal. So 25,000 years of USD. Yeah, that's a completely different thing. Absolutely. Bleak is in the house with a hey, and JJ made it this time. Awesome. I think the last show, JJ? I got a message in the comments saying, darn it, I missed it. But you didn't this time around. So that is fantastic. Ian says that Blossom says I'm up 0.48%. Not too shabby. Those of you who do not know what Blossom is, by the way, that is the social media app for investors. There is a link below this for Blossom if you want to go hang out on Blossom. If you do, make sure you follow me so I can follow you right back, and that way there I can see what you're posting and throw in my 2 cents as well at the same time. Vic is saying CSU near 4,000. I honestly don't know exactly where CSU is. Let's find out. I've got I put this on this screen as well. So anytime I do pull something up, you guys can have a gander at it as well. So look at this. Not too shabby, Vic. 36.75. So I guess in their terms, that is close to 4,000. There we go. And this is one of these stocks, like, look at it. This is the 5-year. So just imagine if 5 years ago you bought in at some of these stocks. So 5,000 years ago, they were $1,095. So you would have made a nice killing over time. This is a company that I would love to see them do a stock split, just so we can try to get some of that pricing down. And Change the Spare says, I miss BB phones. So we're BB, of course, and let's pull BB up. While I have this here, we'll bring up our good old friends. So BB, of course, being BlackBerry. And let's take a look. I'm going to switch to the 1-year view on BlackBerry. So yeah, so here we go. We had a big drop today, hence the reason that Vic jumped on here to try to buy the dip. So hopefully this recovers. There is stuff that is going on behind the scenes in BlackBerry. They're starting to do a few things with their business that could actually improve things. So we'll have to sort of look at that in the future. All right, let's minimize that for the moment. And Patricia's in the house saying, hi, everybody. I thought I already saw you up here, Patricia. I did. Yeah, you were up there. And Vic says, one earbud streaming Candace, another the Tesla call, diving with... Okay, not diving, driving, but you may be diving. You may be diving off of a bridge if you keep yourself that busy and distracted while you're driving. So yeah, okay, so one earbud streaming Candace, another Tesla call, driving with one hand on the wheel and the other hand with a fidget toy instead of a cigarette. There you go. So Vic is still smoke-free. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. You're coming up to a month, Vic. You're coming up to a month. Patricia says, not very much. And Perlovia says, any of you stock up on Kraken PNG? Hit 80 today. I have not, but interesting. Vic says, I liked the BB movie, but Jim Balley's lie character was over the top. I never saw the BB movie. And we have a yeah. And JD says, I missed the retirement income ETFs live stream. Oh, that's the one. That's the one. I did 2 live streams last week because, well, I did 3 if you count the news one on the weekend. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. We had a good amount of people in that one. So definitely loved that. Vic says MMM at $93 was at 200. All right. Well, you know what? Let's I'm just taking a quick gander at the time. Don't want to miss the bell here. Let's bring up MMM. So that is your Minoka, or you're talking about 3M, Vic. Probably 3M. Let's take a look at 3M. Look at this. Yeah, look at this. 100 right here down to, what happened to them? And this is just in the 5 days. I'm going to pull up the 1 year here. Yeah, they had a big drop. I do not know why, but this is sort of like, yeah, that's a really big drop. So they're good. I mean, MMM, so 3M, I'm just going to call them 3M. They're a good company. I don't know why they dropped like this right now, but I can definitely see recovery for 3M. So that's probably not a bad move, Vic, if you bought some 3M. We got Vineet in the house saying hello. And Vic says, sad about Rio Tinto's plane crash. Yikes. Yeah, I think I heard something about that. I don't know the full details, but yeah, it's always sad when there's a plane crash. Mario's in the house saying hello, everyone. And yeah, this is the thing. CSU will never split. I kind of get that feeling with them too. I can be hopeful, but you're probably right on this. I don't think they will. They're going to sort of become our version of, and not, because they're a good company, but they'll be sort of like Berkshire, where they'll just become this really, really, really expensive stock. Who knows? They might maybe they'll offer a .B maybe or something, but it's hard to say. It really is. I think right now you can, if you want to get in on this company, you can do them fractionally on Wealthsimple. So that is an option right there. Vic says BlackBerry has a good security, so I'm betting on that part of the business. Yes, and that's what I was sort of hinting at before, how they're breaking off into their security into one business. And that part there, I think, is definitely exciting. And Vic is down to 295 pounds. I lost 3 pounds. Another Tinder date coming up. Holy banana bread, Vic. Now that you're under 300, dude, don't ever go back. And Bell, yeah, it is there. Woo, woo. All right, the market is closed. Let's jump back over. Oh, I still have this up. I thought, what an idiot. I'm being a bit of a blockhead today. So I was wrong. The TSX did end in the red. So negative 8.81. So it was down 0.04%. And the S&P 500, they started faltering last part of the day, but they stayed in the green at 0.08%. Gold finished the day in the red. So did Bitcoin's day continues because they never close. Oil was up a little bit, up 1.30% on the price of the WTI. So your West Texas Intermediate. Yikes. Holy banana bread. So yeah, and quick glance at the heat maps once again. A little bit of red here on the TSX and a little bit of green on the S&P 500. And the good old crypto, more red than green. So that is that's kind of fun. All right, let's before we do that, I'm gonna bring up the watch list. I will enable that. Sure, let's close out of that. I will make the watch list. I will attempt to make the watch list. I'll just make it into a full screen watch list. There we go. There we go. So here is the watch list. These are the stocks that you guys have given me to throw up there. So yeah, we're looking at the top. HMM.A. So Hammond looking good. Brookfield Asset Management looking good. EQ Bank, of course, looking good in the green. CP in the green. And then we got everybody else down here in the red. Who was the worst on our list today? Mullen Automotive. But look at this, HPS.A. So the other Hammond company not having the best day either. So that's kind of interesting. And CN down here, Realty. So Realty Income down here. Yeah, just a very interesting day. All right, now I'm gonna unfull screen that. Will bring me back up here, and we're gonna get back to these comments here. So Ian says 3M makes quality products. I should buy and hold. Yeah, absolutely. 3M, I think, is a really, really good company. I would even say, how many of you do not have a single 3M product in your house? I know I certainly don't. I definitely have some there. Perlovia is saying bells. Yes, we did get the bell. Vic says, I thought CSU was expensive at $12.50. Ha ha ha. Nelson Muntz. Okay. CSU says, I think CSU spins out. It's the best way to get in on CSU. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Ian says, it will be interesting with the crypto ETFs. Trading will have to happen during business hours, but the coins trade 24/7. Yeah. See, and that's one of the things when you're swing trading, you have that opportunity because of if you're trading like an ETF where crypto is having, especially if it's a situation like, let's just say crypto is in a bull market and it's going up like crazy. There's an opportunity to buy into one of these ETFs at the end of the day while crypto goes up overnight. And then in the morning, the price of that ETF has to catch up with with whatever's happened to Bitcoin. So sometimes you can get these huge, massive jumps. And what I've always noticed is that it normally will jump and then it will correct a little bit. So you have to almost be ready to sell on that jump. But there are the times that you will sell on the jump and it will then have a tiny correction and just keep going to the moon. So it's one of those things you have to kind of take with a grain of salt. Vic says, Candace, review BOYD auto body. It's killing it. It's actually interesting. I had put BOYD up for the vote before, and they never made it. Not to say I'll never put them back up again, because the fact that you've said this, Vic, I will throw it back into the pool, and we'll get BOYD up again. I would love to do a deep dive on them, though. Ian says 3M makes good glue, very sticky and smells great. Oh, do you guys want to see something? I've already, because I started doing the scripting today and I actually have to switch to a different monitor here. Let's go here to, I think it's this one here. Yeah, this is the one here, because it's got, this is Canva. So this is where I was putting together the thing. So that green, I would have made that red if I realized it was going to be red. But here's what I wanted to show you. Here is the thumbnail for the next video, because, hey, get that rid of that, because Uranium Royalty Corp won the vote. So they're up next, and that's what I came up with for a thumbnail, just so you guys get a quick little sneak peek on that. So that's kind of cool. All right, I'm going to pull that away now. We'll move back to me. Let's see. Vic says, looks like Trump versus Biden, 75-year-old versus 81-year-old. I know. Trump has certainly cleared a lot of hurdles with the last couple of primaries. He's looks like it's going to be a rematch. So, it'll be the two of them. It'll be one of these things where at the presidential debate, they'll probably have to keep oxygen nearby for both of them, because they're getting up there. So it's going to be interesting. Honestly, I think they're both kind of too old. I'd like to see a president maybe in the 60-year-old range, maybe, or yeah, we're gonna see Biden versus Trump, so we'll start to hear the old rhetoric, Sleepy Joe, and I'm sure Trump will come up with some new ones. The only thing I can say is I don't know how it will end, whether or not Trump will take out Biden. I have a feeling he might. But it will be entertaining to watch. At the very least, I think it will be a very entertaining thing to watch. Absolutely. Vic says Trudeau was only 53. I meant his age, not IQ. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Trudeau is pretty young. I don't want to use him as an example of a good leader, but it's funny. I mean, I thought Trudeau did okay in his first little iteration. He didn't do that bad, but the longer he's been in office, he's just been getting further and further out of touch, in my opinion. But I do give him credit. I think he handled a lot of the early stuff, even the beginning of the pandemic. It wasn't that bad. I disagreed with sort of how a lot of the supports happened, although everybody gave supports. Even Trump was giving out support. So you can't sort of say, you can't blame that entirely on the liberals. It's just a situation where I think there should have been a lot more accountability that came in with the supports, and not sort of let people scam a bunch of money out of the government. And technically that means out of us taxpayers. So yes, Vineet, I did ring the bell. I rang it. I was actually about 20 seconds late, but it got done. It got done. Absolutely. Vic says Tesla missed estimates, but by a bit. There's the rub. I wasn't super optimistic on Tesla, so I didn't stock up. Like, if I feel like Tesla's going to have a really good earnings call, I normally will stock up and end the day with a whole bunch of shares of YTSLA, because then I get a nice little swing off of that. But I wasn't feeling it this time around, so I didn't do it. So I'm glad. If they missed their estimates, I am glad I did not pull that. And Actaz says DGS declared distributions again for next month. There we go. And let's just do this because I have it over here. We'll pull this back up. We will go to this one here, and we will pull up DGS for those of you who do not know who they are. So DGS, they are a split core company. So let's take a look here. And let's just take a look in the last year. So they've actually, they've started to recover a little bit, which is great. But this is the whole thing. They have this huge, massive dividend of 22.556%. Now, here's one of these things with Split Core. One of the things I'm almost always going to look at is go into their data here. And now look at this. Why did they do? Okay. Oh, they did that for a couple of days. So yeah, December, June, May. So that's kind of interesting. So it's one of these things that when Split Core are not doing great, they do sometimes, miss out on some dividends. Like this one here now, it's showing me December and then June. So it looks like they missed a whole bunch in there. So confirm with me, because normally when I see this on the TMX site, I also will then go over to Yahoo and double check Yahoo as well, because I have seen them mess up sometimes on TMX. And yeah, it's just one of those things that I certainly do. So Tesla after hours below 200. Yeah, that does not surprise me. Tesla is one of these companies that if they miss estimates, it does hurt. Now, a lot of times they will fall quite a bit after hours, but they do recover a little bit before opening. But nonetheless, I am not confident on Tesla. Now, I still like them long term. I'm probably not as bullish as Kathy Wood, as Vic is mentioning. So yeah, apparently, she thinks they're going to 4,000, and they will probably get there eventually. To me, it comes down to time frame, right? Like if I say, okay, well, yeah, Tesla's going to get to 10,000. Well, maybe if there were still a company in 100 years, they might be there. But it's just one of these things. So Tesla right now is at what, 198. Mary says, who would be a better leader for the stock market, Biden or Trump? Probably Trump. He has part of it is he really likes bragging about it, but he does tend to have policies that are more conductive, I think, for businesses. So yeah, Trump would probably be better for the S&P 500. And Chad says, ouch for Tesla. Yeah. Oh, you know what I haven't done yet today? This video could be sponsored by Starbucks if they would sponsor me. So call me Starbucks. There we go. Ian says, I'm going to have to pay for a membership next month, or do I have a chance to win before then? Yeah, the first Sunday of every month, I give away 5 memberships on the on the live stream, on the Sunday live stream. So first Sunday of every month, you have an opportunity. Or sometimes if I just feel like giving away a membership, it sometimes happens. So it boils down to, so let me take a look here. Let me give away one right now, just because everyone's talking about it. I can do one. I can do one. I just need to, I just need to pull up a screen here, and here we go. I'm in the process. Just give me a second here as it does its little thing. See, I wish that the main thing here that I use in StreamYard, I wish it would let me do some of these things, but it just does not for whatever reason. Here we go. All right, it's done. There we go. There we go. So good luck. Good luck. We'll see what happens. All right. And let's see here. There we go, Vic. Vic, you're back in the membership running. Woohoo! That's not too bad. Not too shabby. Congratulations, Vic. It was Vic. Hopefully you don't get too excited while you're driving though. Chad says 207.73 Wealth Simple says. Now, keep in mind, Wealth Simple does not usually report the price for the after earnings, so after hours. So that would have been how much it would have been at close. But there are ways you can go, like I think Yahoo Finance will give you after earnings prices. So just something to keep in mind. Trump for the energy stocks. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Um, if Trump were to get back in, he would he would refill that the reserves. So the strategic oil reserves would get refilled pretty darn quickly, I think. Vic says, I was watching Fire We Go channel, Canadian fire couple in Toronto. Okay. I think I've heard of them. I think I have. All right. And Vic is just saying hi. And AC Dat says that's accurate, just back to paying the last 2 months. Okay, fair enough. Now keep in mind, even though the issues I have with split core, not all split core, there are some that have been very reliable. As far as I know, ENS, which is the split core that does Enbridge, I don't think they missed a single dividend. I don't think. I could be wrong, but I don't. It's not coming up in my mind that they might have. But yeah, I find that with split cores, yeah, during tougher markets, they will, you can lose some of your dividends. But once we're back in a bull market, I have no problem with jumping into a lot of the split cores because they tend to be a lot more reliable. Let's see. Vic says Trump doesn't like Trudeau. Most Canadians don't either. Other than one thing, I'll tell you one thing I loved. Back in the early days of Trump had this weird handshake thing where he was doing this handshake to try to dominate other leaders, just to show he was the alpha leader. And he was trying to do it to Trudeau, and Trudeau was doing something weird with his hands to completely mess Trump up. I actually found that very, very amusing. I thought that was very funny. All right. Goldman says, I sold 90% of my Tesla position and will buy it at a lower price before earnings. My NVIDIA, Microsoft, and Meta positions on fire, though. Yeah, they just been exploding. So that is not a bad thing. Now it's funny when I see Goldman. There's this YouTuber I was watching it was a reaction channel, and he was watching a bunch of the old Star Wars movies. And he calls C3PO Goldman. And he gets all excited saying Goldman all the time. And now I see Goldman and I keep thinking of C3PO for some reason. Anyway, a funny little side story. Amvas says, I'm preparing to self-invest and I'm considering all-in-one XEQT in an RRSP to avoid withholding tax. However, should I consider a portion in VGRO for bonds as well? For REITs, HOM.U, BSRTF, thanks. Okay. I do like all equity. I mean, there are people out there that will absolutely claim that's all you need is an all equity. Now, I'm the diversification type that I'm like, well, there's more than one all equity. So, for example, if I was going to go that route, I would probably look at a couple of different ones. So, yes, you have the XEQT. Vanguard has one as well, VEQT. I think iShares has one as well. So, there's a few different ones out there. So, I would probably pepper in a couple, only because I look at it this way, like, if one of them had an issue, so let's just say one of them just had a bad manager and they weren't really doing very well and they weren't performing to their utmost, then that sort of gets filtered out by the other two if the other two are working well. Now VGRO, that is kind of a growth one, and you do get some bond exposure in there as well. But keep in mind, these XEQTs and VEQTs, you get a lot of exposure into a lot of different things. I love the fact that you're getting emerging markets in there as well. So yeah, I would say that, I mean, you have to make up your own mind, but the more you diversify, the better. I will always give you that one answer because I'm very pro diversification. Let me see here. And Vic loves XEQT. Yeah, absolutely. XEQT is a really good one. I love both XEQT and I like the VEQT one as well. Although I believe you get your dividends a little more often with the XEQT opposed to the VEQT. Chad says, hi, Vic and crew, just hanging vertical blinds. That doesn't sound fun, but you got to have blinds. All right. And let's see. CSU will get to 10,000 before Tesla. Probably yes. So truth. And just a congrats to Vic on a membership. And woohoo, it's me. Yes, absolutely. And let's see. I use Yahoo and CNBC to get aftermarket pricing. Yeah, exactly. So Yahoo and CNBC is another. One of the things that you can do as well is if you simply if you go to Google and type in aftermarket pricing, it will bring up the ones that you can use. But I always, I just go to the Yahoo Finance. If Yahoo Finance will do something for me, I'll just go there because it's nice and quick and easy. And Lisa's in the house with a hi, everyone. And Vic is in the house saying, EL, thoughts about Bill Ackman buying 5% of Israel's stock market. Did he really do that? Holy cow. Yeah, what do you feel about that, EL? And yes, he did. Okay, there we go. EL says, yes, he did. Google or YGOG, which is better? Interesting one. So here's the big difference. So the YGOG, you're going to get a bit of a dividend, more of a dividend on that. Actually, I don't think Google has a dividend. I probably should double check that, but YGOG, you're going to have capped though on your upside because you're using covered calls. So if you're in a very bullish market and the price is going up pretty drastically, Google will beat YGOG. But if you're in more of a sideways and not a strong bullish market for tech, then YGOG will probably do better. But what you can do is just you can always plot out the total returns of both and take a look. I did a video where I actually compared Tesla to some of the, what did I compare them to? I compared them to YTSL and then TSLY. So the synthetic as well as the just regular covered call. And Tesla beat them both. But that was when we had a nice bullish movement going for Tesla during that time. So if it's bullish, the normal stock will more than likely win. Vancouver Isle guy, Kevin is in the house saying, almost missed the live. Yeah, well, you made it. You're here. We're still here. And Goldman says, check out Hammond Power Solutions and let me know your thoughts on it. What a performance. I am a huge Hammond fan. I love both HMMA .A and HPS.A. I think they're both really, really good companies. I think part of it is that both companies were created by the same father and his sons. So they have a blueprint for doing what they do right, and they have proven it with both of these companies. Now, the interesting thing is, I did a deep dive on HMM.A, and I wanted to do a deep dive last year on HPS.A because I was looking at it and they were exploding all year, but it didn't make the vote. Nobody would vote them. I was like, no, this is a really good one. So, basically my channel got sort of known last year as for the channel that discovered HMM.A, but we had HPS.A as well. And I do love both of them. I think Hammond is really, really, really well run. And Chad says, haha, fishing again, Isle guy. Yes, he does like to fish. Now, those of you guys who are on the Facebook page, so we have a Facebook group. If you're over on that group, there's a chat room in there as well that a few people have been just tearing it up. Sometimes I will look and then I will come back to look again, and I'm like, what the banana bread? There's like 100 comments between the last time I looked. But yeah, so just one of those things to put in. And I'm looking at getting the Discord set up really, really soon. So there's going to be tons of options for you guys to just communicate and have fun and all of that. It's just going to be very, very cool. Vic says, I would definitely swipe right on XEQT. There you go. Catch your supper. Absolutely. And Brian has made it to the stream. Hi, Brian. Good to see you. Mary says, hit that like button, everybody. Yeah, I'm going to have a sip of my coffee in my Starbucks mugs while you guys all hit the like button. There we go. There we go. There should be a whole bunch of likes now. Let's see. Vancouver Isle guy. Got a couple of winter spring. Oh, nice. I love the salmon. And you got to smoke those salmon. Very sweet. Indian, I don't, is what, salmon? I don't know what you mean, Chad, but I'll leave that. All right. King of Day says, is there an aftermarket for TSX? Usually check the US listed version of the stock. Now there's I know Wealthsimple is looking at providing some after hours trading, but here's the thing. I don't recall ever seeing it for Canadian stock. So I think with Wealthsimple, it's going to be the American stock market. It's going to allow access to with that. If anybody knows of it, because I've never heard of Canadian of the Canadian side doing it. So the TSX or the TSXV, drop it in chat. Let me know. I would love to be wrong on this one. See, that stuff doesn't last. No, salmon, definitely not. Say the words. Okay. Is it alimentation couche-tard? Is those the words you're looking for, Brian? It could be. It could be, but that's that thing. I think I'm getting pretty good at it, so we'll keep that going for now. Change to Spare says Ben Felix talks a lot about factor investing. I've been thinking about XEQT or holding more specific factor ETFs. Interesting. I do like Ben Felix. He is. I usually don't recommend Ben Felix for a brand new investor because I find he does take things a little bit to the next level. But once you've been investing, I think for a little while, some of his topics are really, really good and can certainly. I think some of them are pretty. What's a word for it? Illuminating, I think sometimes as well. So Ben Felix is definitely one of these people that I do like to watch. Let's see. Yeah, that's the word. So it was the ATD word. And Vic says Ben is the best. After Candace, of course. Absolutely. There we go. No, I mean Ben absolutely. So once again, Ben Felix, he's worth checking out. If he goes over your head, then then I don't know what to say. If he goes over your head, you may not like him. But if he's not going over your head, I think you can get a lot out of his videos. Mary says, love toy. Oh, TOI and LMN. Nice. Change to Spare. He is great. Agreed. Yes, we love Candace best. Oh, thank you. That's always awesome. ADT on a tear too. So alimentation couche-tard. And once again, I am going to, there we go. Let's bring it back up here. Let's take a look and see what is going on with alimentation couche-tard today. So here we go. ATD. All right. See, I love just having this up here. So yeah, look at this. They've actually had a pretty good day. They started the day out at 78.91. They're at 81.36. But this is when I say I love a company like Alimentation Couche-Tard, just go out and look at like the 5-year, and you can see this is just a company that has been building. Now you notice this big hole right here. Everybody knows what this hole is. This is that pandemic hole. You will see this on almost every single stock. So that was that March. So there we are. Yeah, March 2020. So it's very, very distinctive. But yeah, I mean, look at them. They've been doing fantastic. And even the last year, I mean, it's been an upward ride. It's been a very good momentum for these guys for a long, long time. Let's see. And Jonathan says, dang it, I forgot to tune in for the bell. Uh-oh. Just say couche-tard. You know what? I want to just say couche-tard, but at the same time, I like to challenge myself with saying the whole thing. So, alimentation couche-tard. There we go. Um, I love LMN too. Well, we got a couple people liking LMN. Let's take a look and see. This is that Lumine group. There we go. So they're on the TSXV. So that there is a smaller exchange. It's sort of like it's like the minor leagues before they hit the TSX. Take a look here. All right, so we can see right away. Oh, they've been pretty. Look at this. They actually have been a very good forward momentum. They've been going up. That's a nice thing. I do like to see that. So they started out at around $17. They're up at 32. That's not too shabby. Go in. We'll take a look here at their key data. Now this is kind of a little concerning. I never like to see negatives, but you know, we'll have to take a look. Now here's another page. I'll show you this thing here as well. Let me just actually pull up another window. This is a website that you guys should love. So this here is called Simply Wall Street. So I will put in LMN here. And this will give me some really good data really fast. This is what I like about it. So here we go. So right now, it says that they're trading at 69.6% below the estimate of its fair value. So that's pretty cool. Its revenue is forecast to grow by 44.59%. And the revenue grew. Look at this. The revenue grew in the last year by 71.9%. That's just huge. And there's no risks on their risk analysis that's come out. So this is a nice, this is a website I do love. So simplywall.st. Now they'll only let you go in and do, on the free version, they'll let you look at, I think it's 5 stocks a month. You know, like you can see this stuff on the outside, but if you want to actually go right into it, so for example, let's say, for example, I want to go in and look at the financial health, I have to do the full report. And then when I get into it, I can see the whole thing. So like right now, looking at this, LMN, their debt to equity ratio, 23.6%. So if I come down here, I can take a look and see. So look at this. They've got very little debt. So their debt's 141 million compared to 600 million in equity. That's not too shabby at all. So, you know, they definitely have pretty good. And even here, assets beat their liabilities. Yeah, I like this. I like this stock. I think it's a good looking stock. Now, why they're in the negative, why it showed negative, I don't know. But you know, this here is not a bad looking stock. So just sort of keep in mind, it's got a lot of potential. So over the next year, all right, let's pull this out. I can get distracted for a very long time, and I want to get to your guys' comments. So EL, how do you type before your name? Oh, that's interesting. I've never actually tried that. So, but yeah, I did see that. Let's see. Vic says Ben is a pro and we are retail. There we go. Vic, I bought ADM. Same with the DOL. Yeah, DOL is very much the same. Another one of those. And NVIDIA is still blowing up. Yeah, they really are. They had a really good day. And AI, I mean, as much as people think that the AI craze is kind of petering out a bit, it's really not. It's just simmering. It's kind of getting ready, getting its second wind. I think we're going to see a lot more in AI not even the second half of this year. I wouldn't even be surprised by the spring we start to hear some interesting stuff. And so it's going to be cool. I'm very, very, very pro on where AI is going. Let's see. And PKI impressed with their performances. All right. Amvas says, thank you and all for sharing your thoughts with XEQT. I'm needing to apply for Wealth Simple because recommended and 5% for cash account. Do you have a referral affiliation link? Absolutely. Once again, down below, when you go into my more info, that's where all my affiliate links are there. There's one there for Wealth Simple and, of course, Blossom. So, yeah, absolutely. Vic says any disruption in world ought to send oil higher and force us to pay $2 per liter. It's actually really interesting, though. A lot of these disruptions have not sent oil skyrocketing. I mean, oil's been doing better, but there hasn't been any real big jump lately. Even with all of the stuff happening in Yemen and a few other places, it really hasn't had that shock and awe with oil prices. King of Day says, what are your thoughts on figs? I am bullish on the stock. I see a lot of nurses and doctors wearing their products, currently sitting on 165 shares. All right, let's take a look at figs. Actually, you know what? Right now, we're already over here. I'm just going to pull it up over here. Let's go figs. Pull this up. All right, here we go. All right, so let's see. Right away, I can see their earnings are forecast to grow by 29.17%, trading at about 5% of their estimate of its fair value. Okay, so there has been some significant insider selling. Doesn't always mean a bad thing, though. Profit margins, 2.9. So, okay, so their profit margins have come down. So that's not good. But let's come back over here, and we'll pull up their chart. Here we go. Why am I not seeing? Sometimes, let's see here. Oh, here we are. Figs. Let's take a look here. We'll start with the 3-year. We'll attempt to start with the 3-year. There we go. Very interesting. Okay, so they had something happened. They've come down quite a bit. Let's see here. They don't have a dividend. Their earnings per share is at least in the positive. Let's see here. The return on equity, it's a little low, 4.94%. Return on assets, 3.97. Debt to equity. Well, they don't have, they have very little debt, so I can definitely give them that. It's really hard to say whether I could get excited about this. Looking at it from the surface, I'm not excited. I'm not really excited about figs at this point. I would say be careful with this one, because this flatness that I've seen here. Like, I know if we look at maybe their 3-month, we've seen a little bit of movement up, but when I just look at that, the 1 year, I'm not seeing a lot. And when I look at the 3-year over here, this is a little concerning. Like, overall, like, I mean, it's been moving. It's cut down a lot in value. I would almost say that if you're thinking about this one, I wouldn't put a lot in it. Maybe wait till you see some kind of momentum change on them, because I'm just not excited about them. I'm sorry. I hope, I know that you're sitting on some shares, but now if you bought up here, and you're sitting on those shares, that would be a hard thing to try to get out of. Hopefully they can recover. Hopefully. But right now I'm like, right now I'm just not, I'm not keen. I'm not keen. All right. Let me get rid of that. Let's see. Agreed. I went to lung tests and everyone had figs on. Yeah, there we go. The nurses were happy that you quit smoking. That's absolutely fantastic. But keep in mind, even though when you have a smaller market, like healthcare, and everybody's wearing their products, it doesn't always translate. It doesn't always translate into it really, especially if there's not a lot of turnaround. So like if somebody buys a a fig's product and it lasts forever. But even then, I really, it's just one of those things that I don't see the fundamentals. I just don't see it initially in my first look. Let's see. Vic says, ILMN also worth keeping an eye on. All right. Yal is saying Amir. Let's see. If they get their cancer screening product out, look out. Now, see, and I don't know a lot about figs. Are they working on a cancer screening product? Because if they are, and if it is something that looks to be successful, then Vic, you're absolutely right. That would definitely change things. And that's the thing when you're doing a deep dive, like here on the show, when I'm doing like one of these quick little things here and just going over it, that's just very surface. That's very, very surface. You want to really dig in. You want to look at their news releases. You want to look at what the company is doing, what they're developing, what's coming down the pike, because sometimes that can completely change your opinion on what's happening. So just something to keep in mind. Let's see. Kevin says, I'm thinking about going all in on AI. Well, AI is it's amazing. I mean, AI it just keeps moving in and taking over more and more, really. Um, I mean, I look at how much AI I used a year ago, well, zero. And now, I make a lot of images using AI because sometimes it's just like, I'd like to have this crazy image that I just don't have. Like, for example, for this stream here, I wanted an image of a dove pecking on a money bag. And I'm like, unless I could draw that a year ago, if I could, the only way I'd get that image pretty much is I'd have to draw it, or I'd have to get a image of one and an image of the other and try to put them together so that they look like they belong together. But now it's just a matter of, I went into Dali and I said, I need an image of a dove pecking a money bag. And it gave me I returned two images. And I was just like, okay, this one works. So I took it out and I added it to the thumbnail. So it's a very useful tool for sure. Let's see. LMN is a CSU spin out. Oh, that's interesting. CSU owns a huge chunk of it. Okay, that's very, very interesting. I did not realize that they were also a spin out. So very, very interesting. And EL says, good night, everyone. I have to go. Well, have a fantastic night. King of Day says, okay, entry price at 686. Okay, so you're not that much into the red, but if they do have this cancer thing happening, oh God, I would almost sit on it at that point. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Vishal says, hi, Mountain Finance. How are you doing? Fantastic. I saw a video of and Cipher Pharmaceuticals that interest me the most. What's your thought on that? So Cipher Pharmaceuticals. Actually, I almost did a deep dive on them. I don't think they won the vote, but let me just pull up Cipher Pharmaceuticals here. Let me bring this over. Here we go. All right. We'll just bring up the last year. So they've had, I mean, they've been doing really well recently. And that's kind of interesting. So when we take a look at them, where is their thing down here? So basically, as you can see, they're a specialty pharmaceutical company, dermatology, a few other things like that. But I think that they're probably a safe bet when it comes to pharmaceutical companies. With a lot of people moving into the boomer age, not moving into the boomers, but with a lot of boomers moving into retirement, getting older, I see that as a very, very strong sector. So yeah, I would say I do like Cipher Pharmaceuticals. Now that I think about it, I think I had them on one of my list videos as something that might do really, really well. And there's something else I liked about them. Let me just go in here. This here. Look at this. So their return on equity, 53.13%. That's fantastic. So this is a company that they have been doing really, really well lately. So I'm key. I'm definitely key on them. I think that I think they are a good company. Absolutely. So they were, I think when I was looking for the next HMM.A, I think it was in one of those videos that I had narrowed this down as one of the possibilities. So yeah, definitely a good company. All right. King of Day says, sorry, I have to run. I have to get the kids from the bus stop. Nice chat, Candace. See you all again on Sunday. Have a good one. All right. Well, take care, King of Day. We're almost done here, I think. I don't know. Who knows? It's up to you guys. And then take care. Have a good one, Vic. You know the deal on Mob 015 that has a cure for nail fungal. Interesting, interesting. Yeah, and that's the thing. I and this is kind of when we keep in mind with AI, and this is the beautiful thing about AI. AI, when it comes to scientific research, when it comes to pharmaceutical research, is going to be huge because you can remove a lot of the footwork when it comes to developing new medications. Well, just let's just stick with new medications. There's going to be so much speed; it'll be a lot easier. So when you look at the whole process now, before AI, you would have to come up with a compound. You would have to test it and test it for all kinds of different things. So the amount of experimentation that would have to happen with a new chemical is incredible. But with AI, the AI can do and crunch things and say, okay, here are things that are not going to work. And it can take like 200,000 chemicals and narrow it down to maybe a handful. And then you can test those handful. So yeah, AI is really transforming a lot of things, uh, including the pharmaceutical industry. So yeah, this is kind of a huge, huge thing. All right, we're almost at the end. If anybody has any last minute dying questions, throw them in. And we'll get to them before we go, but we're getting there, folks. Excuse me. It's another time for more coffee. Oh, and I should go big again. There we go. Oh, that's good. I do love the old coffee. It makes this pretty good. All right. So coming up, of course, we do have a deep dive coming up on Friday, or if you're a channel member, you can see it on Wednesday, on Thursday. That's going to be our deep dive on Uranium Royalty Corp. And then we got another deep dive. We have another video for you on, not even on, sorry. We have another live stream for you on Sunday. And that's, of course, our news one. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Ian wants to know about EXE. So EXE, Extendicare, I think they're a good stock. But one of the problems is that, it's not going to be one of these companies that you're going to get a whole bunch back for your return, because right now a lot of that business is, what's the best word to say? They're sort of starving for money. I think in the pandemic, when we looked at a lot of the care homes and things like that, and saw some of the conditions that seniors were in, that did put a focus that a lot of this money has to sort of come back. Now, one of the bright sides, though, to somebody like EXE is that because they do long-term care and they do a lot of this senior stuff, there is funding there for them. So that kind of does act like a little bit like a safety net. But I do think, I don't want to say they're bad. They're not bad. I would say I'm kind of neutral on them. I know I wanted to do, I think we had them up for the vote. I was hoping to do a deep dive on them. They didn't win the vote. But I did a while ago a deep dive on a similar company, SIA, SIA. So just one of those things to sort of keep in mind. Prolovia says, thank you. Bye. I'll get cracking tomorrow. Absolutely. There we go. And John says John says he has EXE as a hold and forget, not a big position. Yeah, it's kind of one of these stocks. Like, I don't think you'll lose money on EXE at all. But you're not going to go to the moon with EXE either. Let's see, MS, where is your SBU affiliation link? Oh, my Starbucks. I don't have an affiliate link for Starbucks. Starbucks is not sponsoring me. I make a joke, like when I drink my coffee and I pull up the Starbucks mug, I make a joke that they should sponsor me. But no, currently I don't have any sponsors. I have turned away sponsors because they had products that I didn't believe in. Because, whatever happens, I will never sponsor something that I'm not willing to use or that I think is crap. It's never going to happen. So with that being said, This has been another fun one. We're going to do this again next week, so it will be awesome. And I am looking to drop one of these in, another one in soon every so often. So look out for that. I don't know if I'll do it as a surprise, sort of like just pop it in and like if you catch it, you catch it. No, I'll try to give notice, I think. That way there we can have all you guys here, and I don't want anyone to miss the fun if I can help it. So until then, everyone, take care. We will see you guys on the live stream on the weekend and back here again next week. And we got videos in between, and there's even a short coming out later this week. So until then, take care. Bye, everybody. Whoops, there we go.